Hello, my name is Barely a Bear. You can just call me Bear. What I have for you today is a collaboration with a bunch of very talented people that I've been lucky enough to work with throughout my time as a voice actor. And essentially, what this video aims to bring is um, insight. If you're just starting out or you're thinking of getting into voice acting, art, or music, this video is for you. We have a bunch of different people with a bunch of different, perspectives on things. So hopefully, somewhere along the way, some of these answers will resonate with you. Um, and it's also to show that, no matter who you are, how you do what you do, you can achieve anything if you put your heart to it. So I'm now going to pass you off to our first participant, DiamondAngel.VA.
Greetings, I'm DiamondAngel. You may know me as the voice actress behind Olivia Ryan from Neon Chronicles, Jean and Skirk from Gilgamesh Invades Genshin Impact, Hashir Miyabi from Dante Takes Hashir Miyabi to McDonald's, awesome skit by the way. You may know me as Aika Seijo and Teenage Chalk from The Fate Strange Fake True English fandom. You may also know me as Pan from Fire Emblem Awakening, the support conversation between Cordelia and Pan, which is a fandom of. Don't ask why. You may know me as Kafka from Honkai Star Rail, who appears also like in the comic dub, along with Astra Yao and Evelyn in a Zanzone Zero comic dub. That Astra is going like to disguise herself? Yes. It's back in 2019. I remember I had like back then my summer break from school, and there's a funny tale. And I was at my uncle's apartment, and I was casually watching some YouTube, right? Just casually on my Chromebook. And then I saw this game called Fire Emblem Free Houses. Don't ask, just Fire Emblem Free Houses. And I got like, my attention was on this character called Ignaz, who is voiced by Christian Lamont. So when I watched that trailer, I was like, oh yeah, I should do that. Because like my parents told me like, yo, Diamond, isn't acting something for you? I did know back at the time, but now to see this, I was like, yeah, I definitely want to do this. But I did know Christian Lamont back in the days, okay? Like, besides his work of Ignaz Self, Roderick, the Demi Fiend, etc. Of course, like, one of my favorite ones are obviously Neon Chronicles. Gilgamesh invades Genshin Impact. Virgil takes Miyabi to McDonald's. That's actually one of my favorites. But also, like, one of my favorites, what I've did. Oh my god. It's gotta be also like one of my own projects, and that's the Fate Strange Fake True trailer, but then English fandub, because like I was the director, I did Ayaka Seijo, I did Tine, so yeah, that's literally one of my favorite ones. I do see myself to do voice acting full time in the future, but not right now because like based on my current job, and I need to have it like part time. So yeah. Well, sometimes I struggle with pronouncing things. Did I be like, oh, how to pronounce this? And I'll definitely look up into fucking Google. And sometimes my accent floops out, we shall say, like, comes out, and I'd be like, oh, fuck, I am not supposed to do this. So yeah, I'm happy with the terms that I have as of my work, and it goes really, really, really great. I mean, people loves it, so if my audience loves it, I'm happy as well. That's how I go. Follow your dream. Don't give up on your dream. Just follow it. Don't give up. Never give up even. Don't be depressed. Just go for it. Just try it out for yourself. That's definitely the best advice I can give you. But anyways, before I go, for those who loves like the virtual skit, I got something for you. I'll give you two choices. Pay the child support or buy me lunch. Meow.
Hi, thanks for having me. Okay, so, hi, I'm Jackie. I am an aspiring cover artist and voice actor and VTuber. I know it's a lot. Okay, let's get into questions now. What got me into that? Okay, um, this might sound a little sad, but as a child, I was always bullied, like shoved into lockers type bullied. And so I would go on the YouTubes and I wanted to be more than what people thought I was. I didn't want to be their punching bag. I wanted to be more. And that's what led me into that route. It is really sad and really unfortunate that that led me to that, but that is my passion, and I feel like you should pursue it even if you're being bullied. One of the works I am proud of. Oh, well, I can't really say, but I am an insane character in this, and I really love her. And also, I am Jasmine in the FNAF S and M thing, whatever it's called, and I loved playing her, but a lot of the things I'm in like haven't come out yet. Do I see this like doing okay, will I do this full time? Perhaps. I don't know. College is really expensive. If being a VTuber beats me down to that path, like if everyone likes me enough to where I'll be a VTuber, that is totally okay. I will do that. But like if people don't like me, then this will probably just be a hobby. And I really want people to like me because I was bullied. Oh, good question. Good question. The hardest thing I've ever faced with doing this is with covers. I always chicken out and never post them, even though I love them so much, but I'm just not ready for people to see them. Like my cover of Summer Song, it, like, from then to now, it's a lot better. And with my experience with voice acting, however, doing a character's voice is definitely very difficult. Especially when you're doing a masculine voice for me, because my voice is built different. My voice is built different. Okay, what I'm gonna say right now is a thing you do, like, you don't want creators to pursue you in the voice acting industry. You want to put yourself out there. Like, I learned that the hard way. And if you want to be a cover artist, you have to, I, even if you knock it out of the park, it might not be for you. Like, people aren't going to see it, and that's okay. Just keep trying. Now with me, my covers are like ASMR videos. Like, they're not that good. And like, I have a lot better ones. Again, just I get too chicken. Don't be me and be chicken. Gotta pursue it. Gotta pursue it. Anyways, thanks for having me. I'm Jackie Okamari, and goodbye.
Hello, I'm Soul of the Moon or Mooney. I'm an artist from Uruguay studying video game and art animation. I've had a couple of personal projects, but my focus is illustration and concept art. Honestly, I don't remember exactly how I started to draw. The earliest time I can recall is me drawing Monster High characters in exchange for 10 pesos, which is a quarter USD basically. But when I was in high school, faced with the decisions about what I was going to study in 3 years, I found the game Gris and was obsessed with how they used their art to tell their story. I almost even moved to study in the same place the game was developed because I didn't realize I could study it in my home country. Then I saw a lot of videos about Riot Games concept art and felt like that's what I wanted to do. I'm hypercritical of my work, but I am proud of these illustrations and of my fake video game trailer for Legend of Anima I did for class. They're not my best work, but they're the ones I'm proudest of. As I mentioned, I'm studying this, so I see this as my full-time job. I currently work on some projects and do commissions. Sometimes it's like you have this masterpiece in your head and on paper it's not as good. And that can be demotivating, but slowly chipping at it and figuring out what about that piece bothers you is how you can keep going. Yes, the time is now. Don't wait until you're older to start uni and start learning or to have the correct tools. The tools you have are good enough, and if it's bad, it's still a start and you can learn from it.
Hey there, Bear again. It's now time for my interview, I guess. So let's start with the first question. I had a really good drama teacher when I was in secondary school or high school. Um, she was really supportive of my drive, of my creativity, and she basically pushed me to be the best version of me. And that really helped me with my performances during practical exams and whatnot. Um, so I really have her to thank for, uh, just always believing in me, I guess, because to be honest, I don't think I'd be doing what I do now if it wasn't for her. So, Miss Rob, if you're watching, unlikely, but thank you very much. What is one or multiple works you are proud of? Um, a couple of works I've been a part of. Neon Chronicles, of course. I play Shinji Koshu, one of my favorite characters that I've ever gotten a voice. There's also Red Bile, where I play the one half of the narrator, the other being Sandra Murphy, who is also really talented. You should check her out. Um, and Rolf Schaefer in episode 2 of Red Bile, and that was a very challenging role, but I got there, and it's one of my favorites. I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud of all my projects really, because I just every time I just feel so immensely lucky that I get to be part of this. Like, they could have picked anyone else, and I got chosen. It's like, I just can't be. I don't think I could ever be um, as grateful as I want to. I just can't express how thankful I am to be a part of the projects that I'm a part of. Um, One day, yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm still young. Um, I could definitely see myself doing this full time, but right now it is just a hobby as of right now. But in future, I hope to one day, I hope to one day have this as a career. It is something I'm very passionate about. Nothing gives me as much of a drive. Nothing makes me as happy as, talking into a microphone. So, yeah, I could definitely see myself doing it. Something I struggle with when I voice act is volume. Because I live with family, it's very hard to, it's very limiting what I can do with my range. Um, because if a role requires me to shout, if I have to shout for an audition, I can't do it because I live with family and I don't want to disturb them. Another thing is consistency. When I'm voicing a character, I find it really, really, really hard to keep the voice the exact same throughout the entire thing. But I asked my lovely friend Liam for advice. He's a really excellent vocal coach. I asked Liam for advice, and he set me on the right path. So yeah, but consistency is one of the big ones for me. Are you happy with how far you've come in terms of your work? I would say so. I started I started taking this seriously about 2 years ago, and everything I've done, whether it's been published or not, I'm insanely proud of. I am happy with how it's going. I'm happy with where I'm at. Day by day, making a name for myself. I didn't think I would get this far, but now that I am this far, you know, I, I can confidently say I'm happy with everything I've done in terms of voice acting. What advice would you give to those who want to pursue art, music, or voice acting? I would say I would say patience is going to be your best friend. Um, a lot of people, they start out thinking, you know, thinking they're just hunting for the role that's going to give them their big break. And while everyone wishes that, they could blow up overnight, it's unrealistic. It's not going to happen. So my best advice would be patience. Not every role you land is going to be a hit. Not everything you're going to be a part of is going to be majorly successful. But you should be proud of the fact that you are a part of something, that you're making something, you know? And, it, eventually, maybe you will get your big break. Maybe you'll fucking blow up. Maybe we'll all see you in the next big animated movie or anime or whatever. But it takes time. It's not going to happen overnight. So I would say just keep at it and eventually you'll be rewarded.
Hello, I'm William Zhang, or also known as DawnZ.VA online. I got inspired into voice acting by playing Persona 3 Reload. I really liked the cast, and I also had a love of theater growing up and doing all of that, and then that all kind of came together, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give it a shot. So then around last year in February was when I first started. I got a microphone, I got Audacity, and I kept throwing my auditions in, and I'm a year in now, and I still feel pretty new to it, but I'm pretty happy that I got into this, and looking back, I don't think I have really any regrets of getting into voice acting. My biggest role, or the one that left the biggest impact onto me, was probably Aaron from Left on Red, which is surprisingly my first role that I've ever gotten. I was like a month or two into voice acting, and then being able to do a character's voice like that, to do like a range I never thought I could do, was actually surprising. And getting casted for it and like doing all that, I've got me really happy and really excited, and have really helped me realize my dream of like wanting to pursue this. And I was like, you know what, I want to expand my range more to limits where I don't even think I could even reach. And with that, I think that was just the right push for me to eventually pursue to do this. Hobby or full time, I'm gonna have to say I can really see myself doing this in the future. Because, being able to meet such a nice community like this, being able to help each other out, made me really feel better about myself and wanted to push myself further into eventually becoming a voice actor. And one of the few dreams I do have is being able to voice in some sort of gacha game, like a MiHoYo game, or maybe a Smilegate game. But my biggest dream of being a voice actor is probably wanting to voice in a Fire Emblem game. I grew up with the series, I loved it, and being able to voice either something in Heroes or maybe in a main game or a remake especially would be such a big dream come true for me. Some of the struggles of going through voice acting or doing anything creative is definitely burnout or the imposter syndrome of seeing that maybe my work is not being seen enough, or sometimes you've been doing this for so long you eventually hit a wall and you hit burnout, and that sucks, being able to dislike the thing that you love doing. And sometimes you just need to take a break for yourself. Sometimes you just gotta push through it, and eventually you'll reach there. But I always tell myself, don't give up yet. It's definitely something that I try to get through, and even some of the bigger professionals I've talked to at conventions also go through this. So, if you think you're going through something, you're not alone. We've all been there before, and it's even harder, especially in such a creative industry like acting and voice acting, and even art in general. So far, I'm happy at where I'm at, but I'm not satisfied. I still feel like I can do more, but that's just part of the job. And right now, I'm kind of going through a bit of burnout, but right now, I'm just trying to practice my acting skills and also expanding my vocal range as much as I can safely so I don't accidentally mess them up, because if you mess up your voice, you're going to mess up something else, and then that's all going to go terribly wrong. So mainly taking care of myself and working on the smaller things too. I would say definitely test the waters, because sometimes it's just not for you. Sometimes you have something else you'd rather do. Sometimes this thing that you like isn't just something you want to do as a full-time job. Maybe it's just a hobby or a small thing that you do for fun. But in the end, I still think that it's mainly, to me, it's if it brings you joy, if you can do this for days and hours at a time, then keep doing it. But at the end, it doesn't have to be a job. It can stay as a hobby, but it's your choice. No one's gonna force it upon you. It's all up to you, and it's your own choice if you want to do this or not.
I just cannot think of an intro. Okay. Hey, how's it going? Name's Rodney. Been voice acting for coming up on a year now. Yeah. Here to answer some questions, so let's get it. What got me into voice acting was, it's complicated because voice acting's always been a part of my life even before I knew what it was, but it got to a point where I just realized I needed to figure out what I wanted to do, and all I would do at the time was just sit around, watch anime, watch this, watch that, and I was like, these people that I'm watching that I love so much, this is a job. This is their job, so why not me? Why couldn't I do this? And it's all just been history from there. Some of my favorite works are definitely Jakari Ruina in Neon Chronicles. That has just been such a fun character. I can resonate in him so well, and I just love the character so much. What else can I say? I voiced Jet in Wings and Wires, which is a Gacha Life project, and he is just an adorable little jester who loves mischief and mayhem just as much as I can. And I also voiced Haruki Murasaki in Don't Fall For Me, I Won't Catch You, another gacha project, which is also just a lot of fun. And I also happen to voice Tai, who is the best friend of Catman in the series of the same name. And yeah, here's to many more. Definitely a career. I cannot see myself doing anything else without being totally miserable. This is the only thing that I've ever done that truly I can grin ear to ear the entire time. Lock me in this booth, I will be in there until you drag me out. Give me enough water. That's all I gotta say. Yeah, so definitely, I will be a professional, mark my words. I mean, if we're talking struggles, rejection's always gonna be there. It is what it is. You gotta accept that and move on. Uh, confidence is sometimes an issue, but I mean, you just got to keep at it. Got to keep working. Got to keep growing. Got to keep learning. Remain teachable. Remain humble. Like, just keep going. Like, there's always something new to learn. You can never know it all. I mean, from the time I've been doing this, like, just going at it wholeheartedly, yes, I am very proud of, like, my growth. I've met so many casting directors, got to work with a couple of them on demos and ADR workshops, things like that. I've met so many of the voice actors that I admire and will someday work with, mark my words. But yeah, I've been in a good handful of projects. I got a pretty good resume cooking up. Like, yeah, coming up on a year. I think it's been doing pretty good. Yeah, and I'm so thankful. And here's to more. I'd say if you genuinely want to do it and think you can do it, go for it. I would recommend definitely follow the advice of the people whose career you would like, as in, like, the people who you admire, who shows you love, the roles you love. I would learn from them specifically if you can. Like, go to cons, try to meet them. It's always best to hear the info word of mouth of someone actually in the industry, because there is so much misinformation out here. And never forget how much time you have. It takes a long time. Like, I've only been in a handful of projects after voice acting for a whole year, and I have done hundreds of auditions, and almost all are no's. But if you can see that no, and that fills you with even more motivation to get back and do like 20 more auditions, then you got a chance. I genuinely believe you could do it. Like, you got to want it. You genuinely have to want it. You got to work. You can't, there is no half-assing it. Like, you got to go all in. Be like Nike. Just do it. You know what I'm saying? Blooper time. One of my all-time favorite characters.
Domain expansion. 23 cockroaches.
Are you happy with how far you've come in terms of your... Fuck no! I'm just playing.
Hi, my name is Zaya Bajde, and the list of projects I've been a part of are a canceled project called Defend the Night, directed Black Rain, directed Lost@Sea, directed 72 Hours to Animal, directed 27 Boxes, and directing Red Bile Seasons 1 and 2. What got me into art/directing was the fact I could create anything from nothing, and I've always been very creative as a person. Even as a child, I would like to paint and color, often getting me into trouble, but that's besides the point. My most proud work, I would say, is Red Bile, because it is just a dark and twisted story, but the way I handled it, I think, works very well. And besides my own work that's digital, my favorite piece of artwork I've created is called Red Bile. Sorry, it's just a coincidence. It's a painting where I was really low in my life, and I created it, and I think it turned out wonderful. I am actually in college to do directing at full time as a job, because work, when I try, but I think, like, if I could sell my art, I would, but at the same time, it's my art, which sounds a little selfish, but I don't know, I just see my art as private. If I give it to you, it's yours, not anyone else's. Some struggles I have while producing art and directing are the vision not turning out the way I wanted it to, such as Red Bile episode 1. I was like, oh, this is gonna be the best thing ever. I watched it like once it premiered, and I'm like, this doesn't really seem very good anymore. And it took a while for me to accept, well, not everything is going to turn out right. And I think that's the biggest piece of advice you can give, is don't push yourself. If you think it's good, then by all means, it's good. And don't give yourselves too much work to do, or else you'll burn out. And burning out feels like you're lazy, where you can't do anything, but you want to do something.
Hi, I'm Ants Animations. I'm a voice actor, animator, and general artist. I've worked on many shows, including Dandy's World Object Show and BFTSA, and several others. Honestly, I just got into voice acting myself. I decided I wanted to do something with my life instead of just wasting my time scrounging. The work I'm most proud of? Oh, that would probably be when I got into Pixels and Bytes as a voice actor. I really hope that show actually comes out, and I can't wait to hear more about it. I might do this full time. It really just depends on my own personal stuff. When I voice act, some struggles I have would probably be that sometimes when I'm doing a voice, I can't really pronounce words right sometimes. But that doesn't really happen all the time. It only happens with like some words like conspicuously, for example. I have definitely been happy with how far I've come in terms of what I've done. I am really glad that I am able to even get this far in the first place, and I'm glad that others can do the same. So, yeah. To anyone wanting to do voice acting like me, one of the biggest tips I can offer is start early. You always want to start early to build up your portfolio. That's the biggest thing I can offer.
Hi, I'm Max, and I'm a newer voice actor. I haven't done many things, but I've enjoyed what I've done so far and the community. And as of right now, I currently am booked in the role of Percy in every single show in one package. So I play the saxophone, and I've always loved drawing and theater in general. And so when I realized that I did enjoy voice acting, because while I enjoy acting, I have quite a lot of anxiety in being able to not have to be in front of people and not have to like worry about getting it just in one take, has been really helpful with me still being able to pursue acting but not have to worry or have as much anxiety. Currently, I'm really enjoying working with the whole every single show in one package team. All of the fellow actors, animators, our director, and everything, they're very nice and accepting. It's been a lot of fun, especially as being newer into the community. I think I could do this full time. I think I would have to branch out, definitely, and that's difficult for me. But I can see me doing this more full time. A lot of struggles for me is just confidence and anxiety. I have really like crippling anxiety, and so being under the like microscope of other people watching and listening to my work can be very stressing, even though I do enjoy doing it very, very much. Yes, I'm very happy. Getting a main character role, my first ever like actual role, and I've contributed a lot to my school's band within marching band and concert, and getting all the highest scores that we can. I'd say just go for it. It takes a lot of practice and just bringing out that branching out to just go for it. And even with how much anxiety I have, I was just going in casting call club and putting out my auditions, because they don't know me, they don't know me as a person, they don't like and they're just hearing my voice, and if they don't like it, then I guess I don't get that role, and that's okay. So yeah, thank you.
A lot of what pushed me towards acting came from films that didn't just entertain me, they stayed with me. Watching Dune Part 2, and especially, Austin Butler as Fade Rotha, and then seeing Bill Skarsgård playing as the vampire in Nosferatu, those performances really showed me how powerful transformation can be. And that's really what made me want to step into this world. Right now, I'm still early in my career, but I take real pride in the work I've done so far, especially as my role as Sidon in Neon Chronicles. And that project taught me a lot about collaboration, working with other voice actors, syncing with the tone of the story, and trusting the creative process. Although one of my biggest challenges I've faced is delivering lines exactly how the creator envisions them. Sometimes you record something and think, oh, that didn't land. That was terrible. But I've learned that your instinct isn't always the final judge, and sometimes the take you doubt is the one that connects with the director the most. And that's where collaboration really comes in. Whether you're working with voice actors, musicians, or visual artists, it's not just about your performance. It's about how everything blends and fits together. You're building something bigger than yourself, and that requires trust, communication, and flexibility. Looking back, from training with an international talent agency to contributing to a real production, I'm grateful for every step. And looking forward, I'm focused on turning this into a full-time career. If I had one piece of advice for anyone getting into the creative work industry, like acting, music, anything, it's this. Be yourself, be confident, and stay creative. But just as important, be coachable. Be someone people want to work with, because talent might get you noticed, but collaboration is what keeps you in the room.
Sup, y'all? My name's Tolg, but I'm also known as MX and Skaterboy on social media. I'm a voice actor and a music producer that has been making music for around 3 years or so. I'm also a music artist, which has been releasing music on basically every streaming platform. And before we get onto the questions, I just want to say, listen to my music, or else you'll get the belt. Okay, let's get onto the questions. What got you into art, music, or voice acting? For voice acting, it's mainly Battle for Dream Island. It's like a very popular show about objects fighting for a prize. And for music, I mainly got inspired by a mobile game called My Singing Monsters, but most of my inspiration came from Friday Night Funkin' and stuff. What is one or multiple works you are proud of? I'm mainly proud of Crack Cases, of what I did for Crack Cases, which is like an asymmetrical horror Roblox game that my friends are making. And mainly a lot of FNF mods, like the cool Pokemon mod, T-Fast Funkin', etc. Do you see yourself doing this full-time in future, or see it as merely a hobby? For music, I'm definitely going full-time someday. But for voice acting, it's a hobby. I do not plan on actually being a real voice actor like that goes full-time. What are some of the struggles you have faced when producing art, music, or doing voiceovers? For music, it's mainly because I don't really have any ideas. And for voice acting, actually I don't think there are any struggles that I have with voice acting. Are you happy with how far you've come in terms of your work? Yes, actually. I'm proud of what I'm doing for people, and I think I can help out even more people. If they really want to, of course. What advice would you give to those who want to pursue art, music, or voice acting? For voice acting, you gotta express emotions when you're not actually experiencing those emotions. Like, for example, you're not sad, but you're acting sad, you know? And for music, just learn music theory and practice. It's literally the most crucial part of producing music, is that you need to learn music theory and practice. You know what they say, Practice makes perfect. Now, that was all the questions for the interview, and I will see you later. Bye bye.
Hello, my name is Kurzim, and today I'm going to be answering some questions that have been sent by my lovely friend Bear. So, the first question is, what got you into art, music, or voice acting? Well, I've been wanting to do it since I was 5, and the feeling of, being an actual, voice actor just amazed me, and how well you could, do the voice. It's genuinely amazing. Question 2. What is one or multiple works you are proud of? I'm really proud of some Minecraft roleplays. I say it a lot, but I just really love how I act in them and how I voice act in them. It's pretty cool, in my opinion. Question 3. Do you see yourself doing this full time in future or see it as merely a hobby? I'm gonna try and do it full time, but I know that it comes with a lot of risks, and I'm grateful to even do this right now. So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be doing it full time. Maybe. Question 4. What are some of the struggles you have faced when producing or doing voiceover? Definitely the voice is your main thing, because you want to be on point. You want to see how the character is feeling, talking, and interacting with your world, and that's something that you really need to work on. Question 5. Are you happy with how far you've come in terms of your work? Yes, I'm pretty happy. I made some good progress, and overall I'm just happy to be doing this. What advice would you give to those who want to pursue art/voice acting? Well, work on your voice as long as with your tone and expressions, because those matter in the long run.
Hi, my name is Jean, or on the internet I mostly go by Zaya, that's ZAYA, and I haven't been voice acting for long, with my first official role being as Gavel in every single show combined in one package. But I am studying as a fashion designer, so I can get a bit of context as for mainly the art industry. So if we're talking art, mainly what got me into it was, of course, school. Like for most people, their first contact with making art or music or whatever is gonna come from school. So a lot of that, a lot of my drive for art comes from my school years. That's where I started, and I'm kinda studying to become a bit more of a proper artist now. So, as I said, I haven't been voice acting, or for that online, I haven't had a big online presence in the industry for long. So, I haven't been in that many projects. Currently, as I said, I'm voice acting in every single show combined. And also, I have my own project called Ash and Amber, which I do all of the art for and also most of the development. Now, if we're talking monetizing this, what I currently consider a hobby, of course, like most people, I would love to get some money out of it. But on the other hand, I am completely fine with this just staying a hobby. The main reason I am voice acting, for example, is to help other creators bring their projects to life. Because being one of the creatives, I know how difficult that could be. So if we're talking struggles in the industry, one of the biggest problems for beginners, in my opinion, would be just getting started. Because you always compare yourselves to others who have started before you, which isn't really fair to you because they have more experience, they have more time to learn. On the other side, you don't really know what you're doing yet, but you can't let that stop you because if you let that stop you, you're never gonna accomplish anything. You sometimes, even if it's bad, you gotta put yourself out there just so you get some feedback or something so you can improve. I like to say I'm generally pretty happy with how far I've come. I love the work, art, voiceovers, getting constant feedback from people, and actually getting to be a part of different projects lets me experience the industry and keeps the motivation going for me to continue for the future. So the main advice I would give as a beginner to a beginner is just not to give up. The main thing you need to focus on is just putting yourself out there and then improving from your last performance. No one starts good. No one starts with a perfect performance. You start with something that's mediocre or maybe even bad, and then you improve on that. And after time, you get that perfect performance you were looking for. So the main thing you have to do is just not to give up. Lastly, I'd just like to thank everyone for listening to my sort of rambling and answering the question I was given. Because, like, even though I don't feel I can provide a lot being very unexperienced, I still feel it's important to see different perspectives from people who were in the community longer and us beginners, because sometimes there's a big disconnect between those two groups, and it's really nice seeing people trying to bring those two groups together.
What got me into voice acting was the idea of being a part of projects. I love the idea of being part of like a group or a team and just being a part of like the creation process of something. So like my favorite thing that I've ever been in was this parody of Death Battle where I not only play one character, but I play both characters, and that's Sheldon Cooper versus Barney Stinson. I'm both Sheldon Cooper and Barney Stinson, just fighting each other. Like, it's great because it's just me fighting myself, and I think that's hilarious. So, I used to see myself wanting to do this full time for the future, but, just doing this a couple of years, I'm happy to do this as merely a hobby. If the opportunity is handed to me, I would take it, no questions asked. Ooh, some of the biggest struggles I face are just sticking with something. Just trying not to fall out of love with something and trying to bounce back after being sick. I'd say I'm extremely happy. With how far I've come. Like, I've met so many great and amazing VAs, so many great, amazing, like, talented artists. Like, it's unbelievable. And just knowing that, hey, I'm working with these people just fills me with utter joy. And on top of that, just hearing my voice in their work is, like, phenomenal. Try to find yourself. Try to find yourself and understand yourself more. Find that comfort zone. And more importantly, you're never going to stop learning.
Hello, my name is Aaron Rosales, and the introduction I would like to give is I'm a film composer for 3 years. A couple of things that I've been a part of is college films and a couple of casting club projects that I've done. For the first questions, I got into music by watching a lot of Dragon Ball, and the OST from that series is one of the best in my opinions. For question 2 is My most proud work is probably for Neon Chronicles because it's the first time I've wrote a lot of tracks and they are being used. For question 3, I do see myself working full-time in music. For question 4, the main struggle that I have is finding work and getting the recognition of the stuff that I do. For question 5 is I am very happy with how far I've come. It's crazy to think that soon enough we'll be working on an animated film. For question 6 is the advice I would give is to never give up and keep trying even though there's obstacles.
Hey yo, my name's That One Jarican and I am a voice actor. I've been doing this for a while now. I've been in a few projects, although not many. But I am also working on a audio comedy / drama series on TikTok, if you are interested in checking that out at some point. I got interested in doing this stuff since I was a kid. I mean, I remember doing voices and stuff, making people laugh, just having fun with it, because it was fun not having to use my normal voice, and it was much more fun going around using a random voice I made up, or a voice that I can impersonate, like from one of my favorite movies, Stitch, from Lilo and Stitch. I love that movie, and that voice has always been there since I was a kid to even now. But honestly, it was just having fun doing this kind of stuff that kind of got me into wanting to be in the arts, specifically acting. Out of all the works that I've been in, there has not been one that I have not been proud of. I love each and every project that I've been in, each and every project that I've created, each and every voice I got to bring to life. I am proud of each and every one of them. It's hard to really even sit here and choose which one was my most favorite. But each and every one of them I am proud of and would do again in a heartbeat if asked. I would love to make this a full-time job if possible. Quit the 9 to 5, be home and sit in front of my microphone, get to go out and meet other talented voice actors. Just do this. This has always been something that I wanted to do, and it's not a hobby for me. This has been a goal since I was a kid, and I want to make it true. I want to meet all these amazing people, all these amazing voice actors, all these amazing people in this community, because it's just amazing. It's great. I would love to just say, screw working at this place. Voice acting is what I want to do, and the people I get to meet have been amazing. It's definitely worth leaving whatever job I may have down the road to do this full time if given the chance. There are definitely some struggles when in voice acting, and one struggle that I had to get over, especially in the beginning, was getting my voice out there. I was so new to it. I was still nervous, and I was just hesitant on even doing voice acting in general, but I said, screw it. If I want to do this, I gotta get my voice out there. So the confidence in getting my voice heard and doing those recordings for people, that was my biggest struggle. And now, I'm still a little bit struggling, but I've been doing a lot better on. But going for the auditions that have the hundreds of people already auditioned, thousands of people already auditioned, because regardless of it, I'd rather have my voice out there and heard than sit here and mope about not getting a role. Because at the end of the day, someone might hear that audio and be like, hey, although you may not get this role, you actually might be useful in a different role in the future. That's one of those things where I'm more happy being in and getting my voice out there for. I'd rather be asked later on, hey, come in and, help me with this, than to sit here and be like, man, if there were less people who auditioned for that, I would audition for it, I'm definitely happy with how far I've come in terms of voice acting. I mean, cliche as it sounds, it feels like yesterday when I first starting to, record myself and feel comfortable enough to post, record myself and get judged by the people who are, casting these roles, who are looking for people to get these roles voiced for. I am happy to finally get to be a part of a community of both amazingly talented people in voice acting, amazingly talented people when it comes to the scripts and writing, and even the artists themselves. I mean, I would love to meet more of them. I would love to get to be friends with more of them. I am happy where I'm at now, and I'm going to be happier way further down, when I do more. But I would not trade this for the world. I would not. I have a few pieces of advice for people who are getting into the voice acting community especially. And then I also have a saying that I say to myself and to people who are interested in wanting to hear about voice acting and stuff like that. First things first, get yourself a microphone. Don't go broke. Don't go in a hole because someone said, hey, if you want to do voice acting, you need to spend $200-$300, hell, $400, $500 to get the best quality microphone and recording out there. No, you don't. My first microphone was $35. $35. And I got several rolls off of that one. Second, get yourself a recording software. Don't go in a hole. Again, don't pay $50 a month for some audio software that you're not sure if you're going to be doing it all the time. I'm recording all of this off of Audacity right now. It's free to use. Get yourself something free so you don't, go broke. And third and foremost, find a monologue and record yourself voicing over it. This is the biggest piece of advice I can give to anyone who wants to start, especially if you want to figure out where your range is. You want to do a villain monologue, you want to do a hero monologue, you want to do a funny monologue that you saw from a movie or a show. It's out there. It's out there, and someone's written it, or some website has it all written down and ready to go. Record yourself doing that. Get comfortable with reading it. Put your own flair to it. Use different voices. Use your regular voice. Use whatever you need to do to feel comfortable. Monologue recordings are going to help you astronomically. That is the biggest piece of advice I can give someone, especially. And finally, a motto basically that I have is, anyone can voice act. Not everyone can be a voice actor. Some people might take it out of context, but let me explain it basically in a much more layman's term. Anyone can sit in front of a microphone with a script and record themselves. But not everyone can do that and bring a character to life. You need to do that. You need to not be the person who reads a script. You need to be the person who is the character in the script. Find that monologue that you want to read. Read it over, do little voices here and there, do whatever you got to do, but bring that character to life. Don't be like those kids in high school who do the popcorn reading, and, they don't put a flair to it. When you read these monologues and record yourself, bring those characters to life. Because again, not everyone can voice act. Everyone can voice act. But not everyone can become a voice actor. And if you want to become a voice actor, don't be the person who reads. Be the character in that script. Be the person that reads that script and can bring that character to life. I'ma say it over and over and over again. It'll be a broken record, but this is the biggest piece of advice I can give you. And whether you use this saying or not, let it sit for a moment, because there is some truth to it. And the moment you realize there's truth to it, you will push yourself to not be someone who can voice act, but someone who can be a voice actor. Because again, voice act is a verb, voice actor is a title. Good luck, and I hope we get to work together in the future.
So what got me into music was when I was young, I would sing to process my emotions. I would sing if I were tired, about how tired I was after gymnastics. I would sing about how excited I was to go watch that new movie. And I also loved putting on shows for my family. I would write my own songs while I was in class when I was bored, or like between classes, and I'd bring those home and perform for my parents and for my brother. And that was where it all began. Something that I'm really proud of putting out is a song called In My Bones. It's a Disney poppy musical theater song, and it like genuinely represents what I want to do and create, and that's something that I really am happy is out. I definitely see this as my career. This is what I went to college for. I knew when I was 10 that I wanted to move out to LA and be a singer. Now though, my goal is just more specific. I do want to be a singer, but I want to be a singer for musical animations, and I want to voice act and songwrite for those musical animations. This is definitely not a hobby though. It's what I'm going full storm ahead. It's my life. And some of the struggles that I've had include not being able to find the right people to work with. This industry is very much about working with people, creating, meeting people, and sometimes it's hard when it doesn't work out, or you just don't know where to find people to do things with. That was a big thing that I had trouble with when I first moved out here, especially in the voiceover industry. I didn't know where to meet people to work on things with. So I'm really grateful now through Casting Call Club or like through animation events in LA that I've been able to find things, but that was definitely a struggle. And I am very happy with where I am at, but of course, as artists, there's always something more to be done, and I'm not where I want to be yet, but I am getting there, and that is all that matters. And the last thing is advice. So I think the most important thing that I've learned is that it's all about who you know and how you present yourself to people. Do you want to genuinely be interested in what they have to offer? Do you have value to offer them? And do people like working with you? It doesn't matter how talented you are if you're gonna be a terrible person. People are not gonna wanna work with you. So be in the right spaces, go to animation events if you want to do voiceover, go to music events, local shows if you want to be in the music space, but genuinely create real relationships that you think can last a long time, because that's what's going to propel you forward in the industry.
Hello, my name is Z Flash, or Dylan. I'm a 19-year-old animator or director and artist, and I've been doing art for a pretty long while now. A few things I've been a part of. The main thing I've been a part of is, of course, Neon Chronicles. So I created a fantasy series, and there's a bunch of stuff planned with that. As far as that, Team Neon, and I am probably most notable for like my Epic 7 fan art. So I do a lot of fan art for those gacha games. Definitely check it out. But yeah, that's about me. This is a really interesting one. What got me into art first, I was really inspired by first my older brothers who were really good at drawing. And then one of them stopped drawing, but the other still did. So I kind of always wanted to get to that level. So it was always like a little bit of a rivalry, but I would be on and off and then give up. So I always really wanted to tell some type of story. I didn't even originally want to tell a story, but later in my career as an artist, I would realize that I really want to not just have the skills of drawing, but then put together an actual story or something like that, because that was never my plan to like make comics or make this whole big thing. So I mean, my goal was always just to become a really cool artist. So that's what got me into it initially. Of course, watching like TV shows and movies and stuff like that also got me into wanting to draw and like do concept art and stuff. So for music, I was really into music as well. But what got me into music was like a lot of fantasy music or like game music, of course, like whether it's Zelda, Breath of the Wild was like a really influential on me. But that made me want to start making music, and I don't take it as serious anymore, but it is something I pursued for a little bit. So yeah, awesome. As far as something I'm proud of or something I've created, of course, Neon Chronicles is up there. That's my original series. Whether it's the comic, I'm really proud of being able to publish my first ever like comic where you can go there and read it, and it is completely self-published. So I just have a lot of control there, and I'm really proud of that work being out there in the world as like a way that you can just view the work. Additional things I am proud of, I've animated music videos, I've done like little album covers, all types of different works that I enjoy doing throughout some of the years. But yeah, that's a really good one. I also used to do a lot of fan art from like games. So yeah, all that stuff is out there. Awesome. This is a really good one. I try to always ask myself, like, okay, is this just something that's fun, or like, is it something you really, really want to do? And at first, it was I could confidently say I would want to keep it a hobby, but I think this year I really realized I would love to do this full time in the future. So I could definitely see myself creating art, creating stories, even beyond Neon Chronicles, but or any of my existing works. And I really want to be able to take, like, I feel like I'm able to only give 50%, or maybe not even 50, like 30% of all my effort into, my talents or art and all that stuff. The other 50% or the rest is, everything else, because I'm not able to pour 100 into it. But yeah, in short, for sure, I would love to turn into the full-time thing. And this is my passion for sure. Some struggles I've faced when it comes to doing art is probably just social media and just like getting it out there. Like the algorithm can be a bit difficult to navigate, and I've never been the best with social media. So that's probably up there. But as far as actually art, maybe like my character designs or, just some things that I felt like I was struggling with, especially when I was first uh, learning to get better with art. It was like really difficult for me to make characters that looked different. Like a lot of them had the same face. It was really hard, but I got through it, and I feel like I'm steadily improving with all my work. When I think about whether or not I'm happy with how far my work has come, I am like super duper happy. Like I'm so satisfied with how far I've come, just generally. I was really mainly posting like fan art and stuff, but I've had my original stuff for quite a while now. So the fact that it's out there and you can search it and it has its own website and just everywhere I've gotten and the comments that I've gotten on it, you know, I don't really need to be like famous to be super satisfied with where I am with my work. This is like even more than I thought I'd ever get. So I'm like super duper happy with where I am right now. And I'm ready to shoot way further, especially when I'm ready to sink some real time into this and go full time with it. I would be like super happy. But yeah, right now I'm so happy with how far I've come, both like art skill wise and animation and as a director and everything. So I just have so much more room to grow. For those that would like to pursue, whether it's art, animation, music, voice acting, one thing I will 100% say is don't don't put yourself down. Don't expect to see results in 6 months, 1 month, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. It took so long for me to get even where I am now with just having a concrete idea. Whether that was, do I even want to do this seriously? Do I want to take it to this level? Because for a long time, I had just some ideas, but I just didn't execute on them for a long time because I didn't want to commit to, posting. I didn't want to commit to gathering people, really putting a project out there, really putting my work out there so people can absorb it and actually, have something. So you have to first make the decision and be like, what do I want to put out into the world? And once you know that, to me, that's when I feel like you'll move so much more confidently. And every post and every audition or artwork that you make will be just have so much more intent behind it. So the more confident you are in what you do, the more you can get up out of tough spots or art blocks or just burnout. So learn what you're doing it for, and it takes a long time. Don't rush that process, but you have to do it, and sometimes you got to be relentless. But yeah, I mean, my advice would just be have fun because you're not doing it full time yet. To like, if you're not at that level, then know that, and you have to move accordingly, bounce back, and I don't want to ramble, but yeah, just do what you can and just keep shooting for the stars. That's what I would say. So yeah, give it your all every time you're here. Love it.
Hey everyone, I'm MaxTheWeirdo, and I've been voice acting for about 2 years now as I finished my last year of high school. I've always loved doing voices. I've always loved playing around with my voice, pretending to be different characters, and I've gotten to like recently I've gotten to like more roleplay stuff like Dungeons and Dragons, Baldur's Gate 3, Pathfinder, etc., etc. I've just always loved acting and like acting as these characters and embracing these new personalities other than my own. It's just been really enjoyable for me, and I've made so many new connections and I've met so many new people because of voice acting, and it's been amazing to say the least. I think I first really started getting into it when I heard Alex Lee as Sun Jinu in Solo Leveling. Something about his performance as Jinu just resonated with me, and it just really wanted me to start pursuing voice acting. I started following his career. I saw that he was voicing Zenitsu in Kimetsu no Yaiba. He voiced Marshall in Marshall Muscles and Magic. He voices Daredevil in Marvel Rivals now, and he voices Invincible and Invisible Versus. He's super talented, and just watching his journey has really inspired me ever since I first saw him in Solo Leveling. Let's see. The work I am probably the most proud of is probably this one cover of a musical that me and a bunch of other of my now very close friends did. It was of Epic the Musical. We called it Epic the Cover Saga, and again, I've met some of my closest friends now there, and it never would have happened had I not gone into voice acting. It might not be my best work since it was my first voice acting project ever, but it's definitely the one I take the most pride in, and the one I am most happy that I got a role in. I would love to do this as a full-time job, but until I get a decent career and I'm financially stable enough to like even think about pursuing this as a full-time job, it's not feasible for me, because I think I would want to go to college and try and get into more traditional thing, and like gain some money before I can get into voice acting full time. But throughout college, I'm still gonna do this actively as a side hobby, and who knows, if I happen to like pop off in college as I get more auditions in, maybe we'll see how it goes. Couple struggles that I've gone through. Let's see. Plosives. Plosives are a really big deal. I think I eat my mic too much. I get too close to my microphone, so my plosives are really aggressive sometimes. I gotta watch for that. Some other struggles is just time. Voice acting takes a lot of time, at least in the early stages when you're still figuring everything out. It takes a lot of time to record takes and cut the audio and like make sure you sound good and make sure, like I said, make sure your plosives are fine. It takes a long time. It takes like maybe 30 minutes for me for an audition, sometimes longer, if I don't like the way I sound, or like I messed up a word or like something like that. But yeah, time has been a really big struggle. Am I happy in terms of my work? I'd say I am. I'd say I'm pretty happy at where I am. I do wish I could have auditioned more. I do wish that I could pour more time into this. But thus far, I'm really happy at where I am, and I hope in the future I can keep on doing this and just meet new people, make new connections, and just enjoy voice acting, enjoy doing this. Some advice for those who want to pursue voice acting: just submit your auditions. When I was first starting out, I was really nervous, and I ended up not submitting auditions that I had fully recorded. I edited everything, and then I thought I overthought it, and then I just never ended up submitting it. Just submit it. Go out there, submit. Make yourself present. Make a social media. Do something to make yourself known. It gets better. You get better. The more you put yourself out there, you get more feedback. You get to meet more people, make new connections. They give you advice, and you get to learn so much just by submitting and getting out there. Also, get yourself a sound treated environment. That's more important than a good microphone. You need a good sound treated environment to sound good. It doesn't matter how expensive your microphone is. If your room isn't sound treated, if you don't have some sort of soundproofing and like stuff to absorb the excess noise from that's bouncing around your room, you're not gonna sound good. But yeah, that's about it from me. Thank you.
Before we end the video, I just want to give a huge thank you to everyone who had participated and to the viewers at home who have stuck with us. I wasn't expecting as many people to have participated as they have, but I'm glad they did. And yeah, this is the biggest video I've ever done, like ever. So it's nice to see, you know, a lot of us just come together and make something fun. Yeah, hopefully we have given you, like, if you're thinking of getting into voice acting, music, art, I hope we have given you some insight, some perspective, or however you want to call it. And you know, going into it, you're not as intimidated or as fearful or anxious. Yeah, I've been Barely a Bear. Once again, thank you to everyone who participated. Thank you for watching, and that's it from me.